I became interested in flying saucers when I was 9 years old. That was back in 1952. I lived on a farm in central Indiana at the time, and back then that whole area was a hotbed of flying saucer activity. It seemed like everybody was seeing flying saucers. It wasn't uncommon for us kids to overhear the "wow, did you see what I saw last night" conversations that would go on at places like the feed store when Pop would take us into town. I remember there was a time when people would pack a picnic lunch basket and a six-pack and go down to a set of high power lines that ran through the area not far from where we lived to watch the flying saucers come down those high power lines at night. They'd all gather around, and sure enough, shortly after dark, the flying saucers would come cruising down those same high power lines, not more than 100 feet off the wires. I wanted to go and see them myself, but I never got to. Because about a week or so after that started, the local news crew got wind of it and decided they were going to take a camera crew out there and photograph the flying saucers in action. The flying saucers didn't come down the lines that night or any night after that. It made me wonder if they knew something was going on. Sometimes Frank Edwards would come on the news and tell people if you'd go out and look in a certain direction, you'd be able to see the strange lights in the sky. He was almost never wrong. I can remember one time that Mrs. James, who was the wife of a farmer that lived a couple of miles down from us, telling the story about how they went out into a field behind their barn and watched flying saucers flying circles around jet airplanes that had been scrambled from a local military base. We didn't call them UFOs back then because they weren't unidentified. We knew what they were. They were flying saucers, and they were real. And you know what? They're still flying saucers, and they're still real. And they'll be out there tonight somewhere. You can bet on it. This is Ron Kivett. I'll see you next time.